one of the memories that I have of you, I'll share a little bit and we can talk about injuries, is that I think this was like my first year in the program or something. I remember this. We were on the grass field. It was just a practice, probably like a weekend practice or something. And then you came up to me and you couldn't even move your shoulder. You couldn't lift your arm. It's either you got a stinger or you just got hit really good and your shoulder, your rotator cuff was just trashed. And then you came to me first because I think I was the closest one there. And I remember going to Brian Wong, right? I'm like, Marcus wants to play, but he can't lift his arm. And I'm thinking like, that kind of gave me some insight into you. You know, you're just going to play through it, right? If you can go, it's okay if you can't use one arm, right? You're still going to go, right? And I'm thinking over there like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to tell you. Like, you know, because you can't even play, but you want to play, right?
Oh, man.
But thinking about that, you know, for both of you, playing sports as long as you did, you know, there's going to be some wear and tear and some injuries and stuff. Briefly, do you want to share some of the maybe more significant injuries that you've either had to play through or overcome?
Well, that's all you. I think injuries.
Well, why don't we start with you first?
Yeah,
any type of minor injuries too?
Yeah, for me it was like shoulder from all the hitting, you know, so you constantly have to get ice. Like people don't see you going like those extra days before games or the hours before games to get stretched out and warmed down and stuff. So it's it's a toll on your body. Like as athletes, that's like, I feel like the biggest fear is injuries. Like that's the one thing you can't stop.
Yeah.
And so for us, it was trying to stay flexible, keep your muscles loose, and try to stay in shape for yourself. Yeah, mine's is mostly my shoulder.
Yes.
So mine's is kind of simple.
And most of that you actually played through, right? Like, it wasn't something that kept you out too.
Oh yeah, and as an athlete, like even if it's sore, you just want to keep going, man. You don't want to. You stop, you might lose your position. You don't know yet.
Yes,
so there's a lot of pressure to stay in and keep just working through that pain.
Yes, that's true too. What about for you? I know there's a shoulder injury, but
there was the shoulder. I think that was like probably in the earlier years, maybe like freshman, sophomore year. But then everything was good until like my senior year. You know, that's when I had knee problems and just having to play with that pain. You know, all that pressure. Like Chanteal was saying, like, you know, you want to be at your best because you know you're competing. But man, injuries do hold you down. You know, I remember like. I think it was our first game against Washington, or my senior year, and that's when I re-aggravated a knee injury from the year prior, and like I played with that injury the whole season, and it was tough, you know, because I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but you know, I took some stuff, some shots to help with the pain, which was basically just a Band-Aid, you know, like it covers the pain, and then after the game, that's when like the real pain kicks in, you know, and I remember I used to call Chanteal crying. I mean, I wasn't crying. I wasn't crying. I should tell her like, man, I'm in so much pain. My knee hurts. You know. It was tough. It was a lot of pressure. But being an athlete at that competitive level, you know, you want to compete. You don't want to take the time off and sit out. You know. I remember I had the option to have surgery right after, but it was like, shit, this is my senior year. This is my last chance, if any. I gotta get some film and you know. So I just ended up playing through it, but a lot of pressure, man.
There is a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure, especially for Hawaii, right? Because I mean, any college sport, but Hawaii, we don't have any pro teams, right? So you guys are it, right? Even when you walk around, you know, I'm sure people recognize you when you were playing and all of that. Or when you're walking around with Chanteal.
Still to this day, man. It's been 12 years. People still want to take pictures. People still. Oh my gosh, I'm such a huge fan. Just last week. Yeah.
When you think about, you know, how you guys both deal and cope with playing through injuries, right? Are there a lot of similarities there? Like as far as just playing through and how you guys deal with it and, you know, do what you can to manage?
Yeah, we definitely could lean on each other. That was kind of good. We were going through that same chapter together.
Yes.
So we knew kind of what we were battling. So we would lean on each other and honestly, my faith, like I just kept praying. I prayed for him, I prayed for me to just keep us safe. So, I mean, that's the only thing we can do, right?
Yes, exactly. And it does help that you are going through similar experiences too, because, you know, usually when you talk to someone, granted, they can be very supportive, right? Family, friends, but sometimes the understanding of what actually is going on and the pressure and all of that is a little different, right?
Yeah.
So that's something that probably helped you guys a lot.
And I found, like Chanteal was saying, we used to lean on each other. I found a lot of strength in Chanteal, because I always thought she was that mentally like tough girl. She never wore her emotions on her sleeve, and it's something I always admired about her. Brownie points.
But yeah, so that's interesting to hear. Your guys' perspective to going through all of these same experiences.